The surprising cause of stomach ulcers. An innovative Australian physician named Barry Marshall made the decision to take a chance in 1984. Due to stomach ulcers, which are sores in the lining of the upper digestive system, too many of his patients complained of excruciating abdominal agony. There were few effective ulcer therapies available at the time, and many patients needed to be hospitalized or possibly undergo surgery. Dr. Marshall consumed a turbid broth of bacteria that had been taken from the stomach of one of his patients because he was desperate for an explanation. Dr. Marshall soon started feeling the same bloating, vomiting, and stomach pain. 10 days later, an endoscope, a small camera, looked inside his body. Similar bacteria to those in his patient's stomach were present in Marshall's stomach. Additionally, he had acquired gastritis, a severe stomach inflammation that is a typical prelude to ulcers. A myth that still exists today, that ulcers are brought on by stress, food, or too much stomach acid, was dispelled by Dr. Marshall's theory. Marshall believed that bacterial diseases were to blame. The world's best medical minds initially thought his proposal was absurd. But when he and Dr. Robin Warren were given the Nobel Prize in Medicine in 2005, it served as the ultimate form of recognition. Our stomachs are J-shaped organs with remarkably intricate ecosystems awash with hormones and chemicals. Digestive enzymes, bile, proteins, bacteria and the stomach's own acid constantly attack the stomach. In order to preserve the structural integrity of its own lining, it responds by producing bicarbonate, mucus and phospholipids known as prostaglandins. Mucosal defense is the term used to describe the ongoing regulation of this delicate balance. Doctors believed that stress was the primary cause of most stomach ulcers until the mid-1800s. Antidepressants or tranquilizers were prescribed to patients together with advice to visit health spas. This concept gradually gave way to the associated idea that stress and hot meals were to blame. However, no solid research has ever shown that psychological discomfort, emotional upheaval or eating spicy food actually causes ulcer illness. By the middle of the 20th century, the theory that too much hydrochloric acid causes the stomach to consume itself was widely established. The acid mafia was the term used to describe ardent supporters of this concept. This theory's major flaw was that antacids only offer transient relief. We now understand that excessive hydrochloric acid can really result in some uncommon ulcers. However, they only account for 1% of all instances. Helicobacter pylori, or H, is a spiral-shaped bacteria that was identified by Drs. Marshall and Warren. Pylori is the true culprit. H. pylori, which has been a part of humanity for at least 50,000 years and is today present in 50% of humans, is one of our ancestors and most frequent friends. Because the stomach is such an acidic, unfriendly environment, we previously believed it to be sterile. Yet H. pylori survives the stomach's acidic tumult thanks to a number of traits that interfere with mucosal defense in its favor. For instance, it makes the enzyme urease, which aids in defending it against the surrounding gastric acid. More than 1,500 proteins are produced by pylori, many of which are geared toward enhancing its pathogenicity. We still don't know why certain people have ulcers at certain times, for example. We do know that smoking, using certain medications, having other health issues and the genetic variety of Helicobacter strains all play a part. Particularly, it has been found that H and several painkillers that are meant to lessen joint inflammation interact. Pylori to aggravate existing stomach ulcers. After his well-known, albeit risky, experiment, Dr. Marshall ultimately recovered without incident. He took a course of antibiotics akin to those used today to treat ulcers. It is a modern success for a sickness that previously required surgery to be treated with basic antibiotics. Marshall's work also served as a reminder that advancement in science is not always easy. However, there is merit in following your instincts, which might be literal or figurative.